In this very special effort, we will try and connect with those people who often prefer to remain in the shadows, but they are people who have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi at close quarters, worked with him, been associated with him for decades. Let's try and understand from him and from them what makes him special. Why is it that he's been able to become who he has become today? Perhaps the most approved Prime Minister across the world. Let's try and go first across to very, very special guests, people who have immense respect for and people who have been very closely associated with the Prime Minister and have been tracking him from his early days. Joining us now is the Foreign Affairs Department Chief, overseas in charge of the BJP, Shri Vijay Chauthaiwale ji, and also Uday Mahurkar ji, who's not just the Information Commissioner, but more importantly, he is an author, a veteran journalist, and somebody who has been associated with Narendra Modi ji since 1987, if my memory serves me right. So, Namaste and Jai Hind, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time. Let me first ask you, Uday ji, if I may, and with Vijay ji's kind permission, Uday ji, when did you first meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Who was he then? And how have you seen his graph evolve?
You see, I first met him in 1987. This was the time when I was with Indian Express and about to switch over to India Today. And Modi ji had joined, left RSS and joined Gujarat BJP as Sangathan Mantri, Organization Secretary of the State Unit. That was the time I met him. I had a chief reporter called Kirit Bhai Bhatt, who was my mentor. He was the one who told me first that there is a very energetic BJP organization secretary who has taken over in Gujarat. Let us go and meet him. So my office was very close to the office of the BJP, where Mr. Modi used to stay and function from. So we went to meet him in the evening, and we had a very nice conversation with him. He was very energetic, very well informed, very authoritative on the subjects on which he spoke. And I still remember, while this office was on the first floor, while coming down, my chief reporter Kirit Bhatt told me that Uday, I think this man is going to be a big leader in future. He's got all the qualities. That is what was his assessment in a talk of about maybe 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. That was my first meeting with him.
Vijay ji, for you?
Well, I was a master student in Gujarat, and that time Shri Modi ji was Sangha Pracharak, Vibhag Pracharak, in fact, in Ahmedabad. So in those 2 years I met him couple of times, but those were kind of a casual meets and introductory meets. But he remembered me, and after several years I went back to Gujarat when he became Chief Minister, and my substantive interaction with him started only after he became Chief Minister.
But thereafter, what was your first impression, Vijay ji, if I may ask you? And did you ever think that he will grow to become the leader he has become?
See, couple of things which are very peculiar about Shri Modi ji is that he is a very good listener, a rare quality among the politicians. The second is that he is always ahead of time. I remember when I was in US and he also came there, those days when no one was even talking about desktop computers, he was talking and inquiring about the laptops. And that is in 80s, I am telling. And early 90s. Third is that because he thinks he is ahead of time, he can do some long-term planning and plan everything in detail, how to achieve that goal or objective. And fourth is, of course, he is a very gentle-hearted leader, a mentor for Karyakartas, and I have seen several instances where he has shown enormous empathy and compassion for many people across Gujarat and across India,
They say
and
he
even
has
abroad.
They say he has an elephantine memory, Vijayji. Is that true? Before I bring Udayji back, let me just ask.
Absolutely, yeah. There is absolutely no question, and I have seen it multiple times in foreign visits. Suddenly, he would recognize someone and started talking in Gujarati, and then that lady or that person would say that I am meeting Modi ji after 15 years, after 20 years. Even in recent Sydney trip, I remember the message came that he has asked her to locate one Gujarati lady who he was knowing that she stays in Sydney. So we started looking for her, and it was a very common name, so it was very tough time for us to locate that lady. Finally, we realized that yes, she was there in Sydney, but unfortunately she passed away last year.
Okay.
So the question I asked that why Prime Minister is so keen to meet her. So I came to know that when during emergency, when Modi ji was underground, he used to stay with that family near Vadodara.
Okay.
And after that they didn't have any contact, but he simply came to know that later on she moved to Sydney with her sons.
Okay.
So he keeps such a long association alive, and even though this lady herself was no more, Prime Minister Modi ji met her both sons.
Wow.
And had a very good chat in his busy schedule in Sydney. So this is the kind of lifelong connections and the relations he maintains, and that I guess is very unique about him.
Absolutely. If I may bring in Uday Mahurkar ji back, turbulent times in the 90s, and then as he became Chief Minister in Gujarat, you have tracked that too. Did he conduct himself ably? How would you look back at that time, Uday ji?
You see, I will add to what
Ji.
he has said. You see, he is a great planner. You see, if you look at Chhatrapati Shivaji's success in life, it was due to great planning and a certain adherence to Chanakya Niti. I believe Narendra Modi is one of the biggest exponents of Chanakya Niti after Chhatrapati Shivaji, if I can say so, being a student of history. Having written 2 books on his governance, I had a very close, look at how he functions. For example, once he told me, which I have cited in my book also, one of my books also, that when I take my first step, I know what will be my next 5 steps or even 10 steps. That is the main cause of his success. During the turbulent times, particularly after he became Chief Minister,
Ji.
he took it very boldly. I used to speak to him on a regular basis at that time. Things were very serious at that time. Riots were going on, but he was equal to the task. And I never saw him, getting rattled by anything. So that is a very big quality. He is composed. He thinks, as our friend said, he is a great listener, and he is a great planner.